Fellow tennis nerds, I hope you are well. In the background there, hanging on my Metrotune device, is a Mantis racket. And what is a Mantis racket, you might ask? Well, it's a brand that has gone through a bit of a revival now, been bought up and run by Tim Farthing from Tennishead, and is now rebranded as well. So the website looks better, and they offer rackets in different colors. They have pretty good balls that I've tested as well, the Tour and the standard one, and they do offer some strings as well, but they are not rebranded, repackaged yet. So I did test Mantis rackets already in 2020. Different design then. I think same molds though. They played nicely. I tried two rackets and I'm actually revisiting those two models in this new cosmetic update and this new rebrand. One is the PS300, which is your typical tweener style racket, typical pure drive competitor, and it has a lot of power, slightly higher stiffness, thicker beam, and I'm also testing their Pro 310. So that one is slightly heavier, of course, it has a 98 square inch head size, a lot thinner beam than the other one, and it's more for you control-oriented players who want to be able to swing big and get more confidence playing that way. So Mantis now, website working well. Price point of these rackets, pretty competitive. 181 euro, I think I calculated it to, around $220. Definitely a competitive price point, and these rackets do compare well with what's out there from other brands. Obviously, as a small brand, it's difficult to get through all the noise with all these different models being released every year. I don't think there's a lot changed in the rackets from when I tried them the first time, but they do look better, and the brand is more modern and so on. And I do think it's good that they offer different cosmetics. Cosmetics are very important to players. I talk to a lot of players that are a lot more picky about cosmetics than I am. I'm more of a playability. Not a lot of technology jargon here, but we get into a bit of the specification. You will have everything on screen in this review. Let's start with the power racket. This was my favorite. The PS300 has pretty good balance. A comfortable racket. It doesn't really feel stiff on the arm or hurt my elbow in any way, and it can be strung various polys, and it has responded well to those. I have not felt any issues. It's not as powerful as a pure drive, so the pure drive has a higher stiffness, will give you a bit more pop on the ball. This one has a bit more of stay in the string bed. It stays a longer time there, a little bit more dwell time, nothing crazy. One thing that makes it powerful is the swing weight. So the swing weight is a bit higher than 330 strung with a standard 125 poly, which is a little bit too high for my taste. This is a quality control thing. I'm sure if you talk to Mantis, you could probably get the swing weight you want, I would assume. I have not tested this myself, but I got rackets which are a little bit beefier on both sides, which was good for comparison because they spec up really closely in the swing weight. But for a powerful racket for my game, I think 330 to 335 is a bit much. I would probably prefer it to be 325, and we're talking about strung swing weight. Unstrung is usually 30 points lower. It depends on the gauge and the string you put in, of course, but I would say then like a 295 swing weight is what you want unstrung, and then you can customize to your liking. That's generally my take on swing weight. I've ranted a lot about swing weight over the years. No matter what, this racket provided good power and good stability. I felt very much in tune with the racket straight away. Grip shape, good to point out, it's a bit more towards Technifiber than a rounded Wilson head grips of today. So it's not going to be a super familiar switch if you don't like rectangular grips. Not a huge issue, but sometimes for me this gets into my head and it can become complicated. But if you like Technifiber grip shape, you don't mind like a slightly more rectangular one, you can obviously tweak this if you go to a professional customizer, or you can tape the grip in different ways, add two over grips. There are a way to adjust the grip shape slightly. Feeling good, comfort good overall. Power, thanks to the swing weight, pretty high. If it has a more standard swing weight, let's drop 5 to 10 points, it would be a little bit lower. Flexes a bit more than a pure drive, not stiff as a brick, has a bit more dwell time, a good feel and good stability. So no problem in blocking back shots, in being able to generate power in depth. It's not a super dense pattern, but it's not a super open pattern either. So kind of more in between there. You're getting a pretty controllable launch angle, but you can definitely generate lots of topspin if needed. So the string pattern is important, as you know. I did not feel any hot spots in the string bed that the ball would go in different locations. Really enjoyed this one. Then we move over to the Pro 310. Got it in Phantom cosmetic. This racket requires more from you for sure. When you connect with the sweet spot of the racket, which is not huge, you get rewarded with like good depth. You get a really nice pocketing in the string bed. It's not a very stiff racket. Competes well with blades, for example. Not quite the stiffness of Radical, more in the blade, like low 60s in feel at least. And it does provide power when you hit the sweet spot. But if you hit outside the sweet spot, you get punished. That was a bit what I struggled with this frame. When you played well, yes, it was giving you what you needed. But when you had a little bit of an off-center or days when you're not on your game, it was a bit more punishing. But the feel and the comfort and the looks are all good. If you're a player that likes these more demanding rackets, then I think this one could be for you. I think it's pretty compares well to like a Radical Pro, which is a racket I find too difficult to use, but many like. If you like a 310 gram dense string pattern, but some spin from a denser 1619, it's an interesting frame. It had a little bit of an odd spacing in the string pattern. I didn't feel like any hot spots or anything. It just was like a bit weird to look at times. And that's a weirdness for me maybe, but that was something I noticed. If you have a very small sweet spot, it gets very rewarding once you hit it, but you're gonna have to bring your A game to keep hitting it, right? Especially if you're playing a match or on clay in windy situations and so on. But definitely a control frame, thin beam, could maybe have been thicker. I do personally prefer a little bit of a thicker beam than 21. I would like more towards 22 to have a bit more stability, a slightly higher stiffness. But if you like that kind of razor thin beam that cuts through the air quickly and gives you room to really swing, like becomes obviously more aerodynamic when it is thinner, then I think you can definitely like the Pro. It has good feel, it has everything in a control racket that I usually like, but too demanding for me overall. I did struggle to use it to its full potential. That's more of a user error maybe than it is a racket error, but I just wanted to point that out, that for my game and also the guys I tested with like Alex, it was a bit too demanding. And even Daniel, who is a better player than me and Alex, he did prefer the more powerful racket, but he comes from the Pure Drive now. He has gone the whole journey from Pro Staff 90s to the Pure Drive over the last 10-15 years, so he's definitely wanting a lot more help from the racket and trying to adjust to that, as am I a little bit, you know. But overall, I'm happy with them. I like them. I did like them the first time I tried them. They were not like outstanding or like beating everyone in the category in any way. That's very difficult to do with tennis rackets. There are quite a lot of tennis rackets on the market, but these are competent rackets and they compete well, especially considering the price point. So I would definitely give a thumbs up to Mantis. If you want to check them out, we try to sign a discount code with everyone. So if you like a racket from a review, that's completely up to you. You can go buy whatever you want, but we want to offer you a discount code if you like it. If you like the work we do, you send us a small commission, and that's it, pretty much. Win-win, I would say, if it's a good product for you. So use Tennis Nerd to get 50% off Mantis rackets. Use the link in the description. And if you want more recommendations for rackets, check out tennisnerd.net, recommended rackets, recommended strings, and lots more content we have there running all the time. That's it for today. Have a nice day, and don't forget to play some tennis.